All right, everyone. Turn the music down. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right, let's go ahead and stop and come on in, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here. For anybody new here, please allow me to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Maggie, your substitute teacher. Welcome to another Q&A day. So we call these Ask Me Anything, which just means if you have a question, a topic that you want to talk about that I might be able to help with, we'll see. Feel free to ask me. I do offer consultations, and a lot of people like to talk to me one-on-one. But if you don't mind to talk to me in this form, you can talk to me for free. Oh, I will drop the link. We'll take attendance. I'll tell you guys where I'm at. Clearly, I'm not at home. It is a holiday weekend in the U.S. It is Memorial Day weekend. So we celebrate for all of those who have served and given the ultimate sacrifice. We are so grateful for our freedoms. My ex-husband's family is military. You all know I have a son in military school. Both of the boys may take the military route. One wants to be a pilot, one wants to be an architect. So I have a huge appreciation, even though it's not my personal experience. I'm just incredibly grateful. So this is a holiday weekend. I am in North Georgia. I am in a like a vacation home, Verbo, vacation rentals by owner. And we're supposed to go to a winery later today. So I'm very excited about that. You all know I love the snacks and I love the experiences. So tomorrow's stream will probably be a dining documentary all about the winery. But yes, I'm up. I slept well. Yes, I did make my bed. I make my bed every day, not just for you all. That's a big part of keeping your room clean and trying to keep your mind clean and uncluttered. So if you have a question on Instagram, you can do the question button in the bottom and I will respond. No agenda, no nothing. Today we can get right into it. If you are on YouTube or Facebook, let me make sure sound is okay. Y'all, I was struggling yesterday. I think we're good. Hopefully you all can hear and see. Well, put a Q in front of your comment and then I will read it as a question. So Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram. Looks like we already have someone here with a question. So I'm going to take attendance. Rise, I see you in the back. And you all don't have to be camera on. You can just be audio, okay? So I'm going to start over here on Instagram because you all know, well, if you don't know me, I have a YouTube cooking channel. So I usually stream cooking every day, but when I'm not in the kitchen, clearly I'm not at home, then I stream for you all either Q&As or we do our dining documentary. So that'll be tomorrow. But I do have content for you every day. I live stream. So if you like what I'm doing, please consider subscribing because I am going to Greece next month and I'll be taking you all with me wherever I go. I've also been on an etiquette and elegance journey. I've had to do a lot of work to refine. For me, that has been thousands of dollars in courses, working on my speech, working on my gestures, and I am actually coming out with my own course, beginner course, so stay tuned for that so we can talk about my etiquette and elegance journey. I also have a relationship channel. We streamed last night, The Wives Club. I see questions already coming in. As a former wife of 10 years, I was married at 25, married my college boyfriend, but I admittedly got caught up in a little bit of modern woman. We can do everything a man can do. But I hit the wall and I don't want to do it like that until I'm 65. So unfortunately, the marriage ended in divorce, but we have 2 sons from marriage, so I don't regret it. And since the marriage, I've been in another long-term relationship, 12 years with a 1% man. So I got to do a lot of work to make sure I get on his program, but I've never been happier. So that's who Maggie is. Let's take attendance, and then Rise, I'm coming to you. So hello, Barefoot. Thank you so much for being here. South End is here. I am Seabridge. Rebecca, hello. Blogs, Daddy Knight, Nayan, thank you. Best Striker, weight loss results. Shout out to those of us on the struggle. Hershey Kisses, hello. Daisy is here. Black is here. Kim is here. I am 6 is here. I see you all coming in. Thank you. Usually I miss you all when I'm cooking because I'm not trying to burn down stuff because y'all will talk about me. So you have my undivided attention. So I see Daisy's question. I'm going to keep it pulled up here. So I'll come to you in a moment, but I saw Rise first. So let me take attendance really quick on this side. Who do we have here? Inspired One. Good morning. How are you? Thank you for being here. Inspired One says, yes, you made your bed. Absolutely. First of all, even if I weren't a bed maker, which I am, y'all be talking about me crazy. No, I'm going to take a picture of this setup. Literally, I have a lamp. So you see this lamp over here. There's like 2 on the nightstand. So I got the one on this side and I have it in front of me because when I turn on the ceiling fan, I have this like weird glow. And so I have a lamp right here. And then, what else did I do? This is like an end table, y'all. I'm trying. Thank you, everyone. Attendance. Thank you. We got Charlene in the house. Thank you for the sunrise. Good morning. Let's see. Is there anybody else? Rebecca has a question for me. Okay, I'm going to star it, sweetheart. These are just first come, first asked, y'all. I'm just doing attendance. Good morning, Celine. Hello, my dear. JG says, has a blessed day. Yeah. After this, y'all, I'm going to the winery, so I'm excited. Gail Manuel, I'll take pictures and videos for you all. And Celine is shopping. Okay. So I see Rise in the back. So Rise is camera off. So I'm going to go ahead and bring you up. Go ahead. You can ask your question.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I sure can. Go ahead, sweetheart.
Okay. This is the first for me. I've never been live online before, so it's kind of weird. But I figured you'd be the perfect person to um ask this question. How do you feel about a 20 years difference in a relationship? As Give me your opinions on a man and a woman, but also a woman and a woman, because I am gay. So, but I've fallen for a woman that's 20 years older than me. But the way I look at it, I see all of these spiritual things that I don't know if I'm the one making it up in my own head, or if it really is. Like, what would be your opinion with that?
Well, unfortunately, I'm going to go ahead and take you down. Thank you for the question, but I've got some background noise. Okay, so I'll answer that the best way that I can, which is basically that's not my area of expertise. I was married to a man and I'm currently in a relationship with a man. I support doing what is best for you, but I will answer this because I know we have some younger ladies who are in an age gap relationship with a man. So I'll just offer that for whatever it's worth. And I'm one of those who had to come around too, because at first I was thinking, oh my gosh, that's so old. But depending on the type of marriage, assuming this is marriage that you want, depending on the type of relationship that you want, and I'm traditional, but I fully understand and even accept that there are different types of relationships, there are different types of marriages. So if we're thinking traditional, usually back in the past, a man would have to make himself go out and build something, whether it's a business or whether he was slaying dragons literally or whatever. He would have to earn the right to take a wife and have a family. It wasn't just something that was entered into lightly. And so that takes time. And as a boy mom, I'm very passionate about this because you all know I'm a huge follower of the late, great Kevin Samuels. And I remember him saying, men had to be heads down for 10 years between like 19 and 28, 18 and 28. And that was their time to be heads down, eat you know what, and basically make themselves, because you don't have the leverage to be able to have the responsibility of a family yet. And so now as a boy mom, I see why. If y'all have been around teenage boys, you're kind of like, okay, we got a lot of work to do. Um, and for women in traditional relationships, it's the reverse, because our youth and beauty is what's valued. Look, I didn't make it that way. It just is. And especially if you want a family, we can't control the clock. I'm way past the wall. I'm 47. So I know I am not a prime candidate for a man who would want a family. You know, those years are behind me. And I'm so glad that I prioritized relationship when I did. But I don't see anything wrong with it. Now, for me, again, in traditional relationships, I would say it depends on the age of the man and the woman. So let's say it's a 20-year-old woman with a 40-year-old man. That's a huge age gap. Ideally, you know, I don't know, I've heard anywhere from like 7 to maybe 13, but it can be done. If a woman is very young, and I have some consults that are, you know, teenagers, I always advise them, you know, if you have a support system, your family, you know, people that you trust to help you vet, because you don't have a lot of experience. I met my ex-husband at 18. He was my college boyfriend, and we married right after college, but we were closer in age. So it was kind of that, you know, like IKEA marriage that you build together. Um, and so a man that is older definitely would come and should come with a plan that this is what I've built, and this is what I'm able to provide, and this is the type that this is the type of wife that I'm looking for. And usually when they want someone younger like that, it's because they want a family, and they want probably a large family. And all that experience. I'm not a fan of the hot girl summer. Y'all can do whatever you want to, but I am a relationship girl. I don't think a lot of casual experiences are beneficial if you actually want marriage and long term. So I've had a 10-year marriage and a 12-year relationship. So the last thing that I'll say is, if the woman, in this case, again, I'm speaking from the traditional perspective, if the woman is older, let's say someone like me, I'm 47, but let's say it's a 40-year-old woman and a 60-year-old man, by all means, you both are good and grown, you've got life experience, and you want to sail off into the sunset, enjoy your golden years, like what I'm looking for. So that would be my answer. Unfortunately, I can't speak to your relationship particularly, but I do wish you all the best, and thank you for the question. If you all have any comments in the chat, you can type them in, and I will pull them up. All right, hello everybody coming in on IG. Did I not turn in my phone? All right, let me see. We had a question on IG. Let me see if I can pull this up. Okay, so I have Daisy K. Hello, sweet Daisy. She says, "Hey, Miss Maggie, I'm 19 years old and I'm about to head off to the college. Any advice you have for me? I just love you and how your feminine energy radiates off of you." Well, first of all, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. And what I will say is, I am naturally feminine, but I have had to work on that. And I don't mind saying that because, you know, a lot of times, especially in our culture, it's kind of like this thing, like I woke up like this. I didn't. Well, I did just wake up, but I showered and brushed my teeth and and that. But I have been very intentional in investing in my the way that I show up, because for me, I've been corporate since college. I am a boy mom, 2 teenage boys, y'all already know. And so sometimes that masculine competitive society that we live in can kind of come on you, and you're like, I didn't even know that I shout when I speak, you know, until I got that feedback, and it hurt. So I just offer that because if you all want to refine, and this is not a plug, but I will plug, I am working on a course, so stay tuned for that. But there's a lot of free content out there. And if you want to join my Patreon, there's a $1 level. I post there every day this type of refinement. So, advice for college at 19. Oh, how I remember, and I see myself in a lot of younger women. Ultimately, I would say, what is really important to you? You all know that I'm a fan. I come from academia. I don't lead with this, but I do have a bachelor's degree from Spelman College, and I have an MBA as well. So, I have those professional accolades. I'm an executive, all of that. But my proudest moments are being a wife and a mother. I absolutely loved being married and I don't regret it. I think that, the society that we live in doesn't promote that. So if that's what you want, Daisy, you're going to have to make sure that you're intentional and unapologetic about that, right? You don't have to be rude and you don't have to be defiant, but college is great for the piece of paper. I'm a fan of the piece of paper, but college is also really great for networking and building relationships. You're coming up on that time, right? I think a woman's prime is like, what is it, like 18 to 25 or 26, something like that. And not that you need to get married and have a family right now, but be intentional about the relationships that you build. College is going to be one of those rare times in your life where you're going to have access to so many different kinds of people that can help and hurt where you want to go. So I would start with knowing where you want to go. Now, if marriage and family is important to you, prioritize that. Choose the type of relationships that are going to be helpful for you to practice those relationship skills so your relationship muscles don't atrophy, like the late great Kevin Samuels used to be. Um, Even if the relationship doesn't work out, I believe that having relationship experience as far as um, serving a man, learning how to talk to a man, learning a man's ways. To me, that's better than just casual experiences that don't really get you anywhere. So I would be intentional about that. Um, Two, I don't know if you know what you want to study yet, but if you're thinking marriage and family, and that's what I'm assuming, so you can correct me if I'm wrong. If you're hoping for marriage and family one day, you want to try and find the type of work that will allow you to be flexible in the long term. I don't know if you want to work full time or part time or work from home, but think about that. And your school should have some type of, career placement office or something. I know Spelman was great with that, but you can go and talk to these counselors and find out the type of work. Maybe you can shadow somebody so you can kind of see, is this something that I can see myself doing, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, or is it something that I just want to get in and get out? And then lastly, if at all possible, watch that debt. I don't believe I mean, it's a shame that kids are coming out of school with that much debt. I worked when I was in school. I had scholarship and then I worked. So I had maybe like $9,000 in student loan debt that I paid off right after I graduated. So I don't carry any debt. But just really watch out for that because, again, if you want marriage and family, that's a huge burden that you might be asking a man to help you with. So that would be my advice. Now, if you want to be, corporate pavement, go for it, then none of that applies. And honestly, you all, I accept that marriage and family isn't for everyone, but that would be my advice to you. You want to be married one day? Absolutely. I hope that helps, sweetheart. All right, I think there was another question here. Let me come over. I started. Thank you all for the questions. Rebecca has a question. How are your etiquette classes going so far? Okay, so Rebecca, I'm not sure if you're asking about the ones that I'm enrolled in for myself, or if you're asking, oh, thank you, Rise, or if you're asking about the one that I'm creating. So I will answer both for you. Um, This is a lifelong journey, you all. And for me, I love it. I absolutely love it. I didn't even know this space existed. Being a boy mom, being corporate, like I said, I've been in this masculine environment. Then you start getting feedback that, my gestures were kind of masculine and, I shout when I talk, like all of that stuff. And that's not who I want to be. And so I actually heard about, Anna Bay through Kevin Samuels, and I signed up for her signature course. All of the work that I've done has been like remote study or self-study. So you pay for the course and you have lifetime access, but it's like an 8 month or 6 week or some type of duration, and they give you different videos and modules to watch. Hey, Daryl. Every week or every month. I've taken several, y'all, and I keep taking them because I love them. With each course, there's a subject matter. So it could be the way that you walk, it could be sitting and standing, it could be your dining etiquette, it could be conversation. So with each topic, there's like a workbook and there's homework assignments that we have to do for each section. Some of them are, self-analyze from head to toe. We all have areas that we can work on. Some of it is going out and putting yourself in certain environments where you can practice what you've learned. I've completed several. I have several certificates, but I go back and I review. For example, if I'm going to a formal dinner and sometimes I forget, what's the proper gift giving etiquette when you come into someone's home, I may go back and rewatch that section. So for me, it's a lifelong journey. And then lastly, one of the courses that I've taken, Emma DuPont, what I love about her is, and she's British, but she has a monthly Q&A. So she has like a private Zoom like this where we can dial in once a month. And if we have questions and we need to refine, we can ask her. So it's going well. I absolutely love it. Stay tuned because I am working on a course, a beginner course for those of you all who are interested in this. So more is coming. Hopefully that answers the question, Rebecca. Oh, thank you for the compliment, Daryl. Okay. So again, if you have a question, you can put a Q in front of it, or on Instagram, you can use the question button. I will drop the link again. If you guys want to come up, you do not have to be camera on, and I will answer your question that way. All right. So let me scroll back up. There's a lot going on in the chat, but I try to give you all my undivided attention because I know, it's a lot when I'm cooking. All right. So I think this is where I left off. So Celine and her boyfriend are going to Costco. You're helping him look for great deals. I love that. Y'all know these groceries are expensive. Absolutely. Save money. That's a great skill, ladies. We all like nice things, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But if you can show a man that you're responsible with money, believe me, you get everything. All right. We have still Sheila. Oh, 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 Sheila. Hello, my dear. Is that my first time seeing you here? Welcome. Casually says, I think of a traditional relationship being set in the 1800s. So I strive instilling those values. My man thinks the same. You all, here's the thing, and we all have our own perspectives, and I'm never here to say you must do it this way. I've said before, maybe it was in an interview, there are traditional marriages, right? There are age gap marriages, there are military marriages, there are long distance marriages, there are make it up. I don't know. Ultimately, you really have to sit with yourself and say, what is it that I want? And, if I'm being honest, being part of that corporate machine, I knew I always wanted to be a wife and a mother. I come from that. My parents have been together over 50 years. I grew up in a traditional nuclear family, mom, dad, sister, brother, immigrants. And so that was my example, and that is what I wanted. We got casual here. Oh my gosh. Okay. I see casual Lee. Let me know if it's the same casual. So I will bring you up. Let me answer this and then I'll bring you up. So for me, when I think traditional, it's not necessarily a time period, even though this is the way that it's been for hundreds of years, maybe even thousands. But when I think traditional, excuse me, usually there is a breadwinner role, someone who is providing for the family, someone who is either going out and working with I'll say his back or his brains, and bringing in provisions for the family. And then usually there is some type of support system role, we'll say wife, but the support system is making sure the house is a home, raising children if there are children, maybe supporting the man in his business ventures if it's a man. My guy tells me all the time, VPs don't marry VPs. And yes, there are examples of where that can happen, but it's hard. Usually, somebody has to lead. We're equally valued, but in my opinion, we're not equal because we ladies are better at some things and men are better at some things, and I think we're beautiful together. So that's what I think about traditional roles, and it could be man, woman, it could be whatever you want, but um, if everybody's trying to go get it, then the home is lacking. If everybody's trying to be at home, then provisions are lacking. So that's what I mean. But I see someone in the back. So casual, I am going to bring you up. Um, you are in the stream. What is your question?
Hello. Is my mic working?
It is. We can hear you fine.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you how I can step forward in my relationship because I'm 19 and I'm about to graduate high school. And a guy has piqued his interest in me, saying that I hold certain values, traditional values, and he is 35. So, in bringing that up to my parents is making me really anxious, but he has a lot of, you know, good intentions on helping me grow and taking me underneath his wing and showing me what are the right things to do. So, and I've been in a college course before and I didn't quite enjoy it. So, should I pull towards him and what he's going to teach me? Or should I have a backup plan in order to, kind of stay in the middle? It's like, yeah, I can go to college and I can sway towards him. So I'm kind of stuck in between.
Okay, great question. And thank you for reaching out. I absolutely love it when the young ladies reach out. Y'all know I'm a boy mom, so I don't have daughters. So I really have a heart for our young ladies. First question: what are his intentions for you? I know you like him, but what has he said about this potential relationship?
He has stated that because he's a high network individual and his intentions are I can help you grow, I can form you into being a good wife. So my intentions are, well, what I think his intentions are making me into his wife, are kind
Okay.
of instilling that at home wife perception, which I do not deny at all. I enjoy that so much.
Mhm. Okay. So here is what I would say. Well, first, do you have a good relationship with your own parents? Do you feel like you could trust their judgment when it comes to your potential husband?
Um, my relationship with my family is good. I wouldn't
Okay.
say it's great. There are a few hiccups here and there, but that happens with every family.
Okay.
Um, I am the first member of my family to kind of go the traditional route. Everybody
Mhm.
else is going towards the modern wave of what's happening. So being the change is is a struggle. It's a
Yeah.
lonely path to walk along, but I'm willing to do what I think is right. And it just feels right to be traditional.
Okay. That was going to be my next question. What is it that you want? And it sounds like marriage and family is what you want.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is an example of an age gap. I'm not going to call it a relationship yet because you're still very young, but I think it's wonderful that at this age you're already thinking about whether it's this man or a different man, that you're already thinking about what you want life to be. Because my experience, and a lot of women, unfortunately, we just kind of go blindly down what everybody else says, and then we get to 30, 40, whatever. It's like, what do I want to do? So I am proud of you for that. Um, my only, I won't even say concern, but a man at 35 should be crystal clear on what he wants and what his intentions are. So I would ask him, has he said anything about meeting your parents before, um, going any further with you? Would he be, what has he said about that?
Oh, yeah, he's not opposed to the fact of meeting up with my parents. He
Okay.
even, quote unquote, you can bring anyone you want when you come and meet me, whether that be your mom, your dad, your sister, your uncle, your grandpa. He's not opposed to meeting up with family.
How did you all meet?
I met him on a finance server because I was trying to learn how to make money online, and he just happened to be there, and the first thing he noticed is I put value into a conversation. So that's what really piqued, like, oh, this is different.
So I see a question in the chat. I was going to ask the same thing. Leanne is asking, so you've never met him. Is that correct?
Never met face to face. We've been doing video chats and messaging each other. I've trusted him enough, and he's trusted me enough to the point where I've deleted my Instagram, I've deleted Snapchat, and everything like that. Now we message through direct messages, through phone numbers. So,
Okay. Here's where I am with this. I would have a man that you trust, your father, your uncle, your brother, talk to him before you talk to him again. Because I think it's great that you may have a connection, but you want to make sure that what you're dealing with is something real, because you don't have the balance of time to waste, and you're still very young and very impressionable, grown as an adult. Absolutely. I'll never take that away from you. But if he is willing to meet or talk to someone, preferably a male that you respect, I would have that male meet him first one on one, because men can sense each other out. They can really get a sense of, as oftentimes we women, we see what we want to see. We're so hopeful. And I would, if you had a conversation with him next, it would be about planning. I'd love for you to meet my dad. I'd love for you to meet my cousin, my uncle, my brother. Do you have a man in your life that, one, would be willing to do that? And you've already said that this guy is open to that. Do you have someone that you could have him talk to or meet?
oh yeah, definitely. My father, my uncle, and my sister's fiance.
Yeah. Okay. So how soon, or I mean, you could start with I guess a Zoom meeting or something like this, or I don't know how far you all in distance, and you don't have to give your location, but you're interested in him, he's interested in you. I would pause and I would have the men in my family check him out, find out about him, find out about, what does he do? What is his timeline? Because here's the thing, for you specifically, and for all of us ladies, I made this mistake too. We can't change a man. We have right of refusal. And by right of refusal, that means we can either agree to go, or we can say, I do not agree to go. But what we can't do is change a man. We can't rush a man. We can't make them do it our way. We are signing up as ladies. And again, I'm traditional, but we are signing up to be on a man's program and be a support system to him. Every man has a program, whether it is, working a 9 to 5, whether it is something, blue collar, where he works something physically demanding, or if he plays video games and smokes all day. Like, every man has a program that he has created for himself. And so we have to be able to look at that from afar and say, yes, this is what I want to hitch my wagon to. And being so young without life experience of your own, which is okay, you are going to need that support system to kind of get around you. So I would pause on talking to him until the men in your life have talked to him, met him in person, or whatever you all want to do, preferably both, and then talk to the men in your family and get their blessing to even continue. And then we could probably have a part 2 of this, but I would love to know what the men in your family say first. It's not the end of the world. This is about like a 16-year age gap, but he has to be on it, doggone it, and have very clear intentions. And I would love to hear that from the men in your family. I hope that's helpful.
It was. Thank you so much.
Anytime, my dear. Thank you for being here, and keep me posted.
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all, I would love to know what y'all say. This is hard. I'm a boy mom, so like my ex-husband handles all these tough conversations. I tried to talk to the boys once and they laughed at me. So, oh, goodness. Yes, let the family get to know him. Absolutely. Sabrina says, yes, I agree, Maggie. I was thinking the same thing. Take advantage of him opening that option, meet with a male family member. Whoo! Y'all, goodness. Okay, makes all sense. Okay. Shantia says, would it be best for you to have him around family and friends for a while? That would be next. What I was going to say is she should never be alone with him. Y'all know back in the past during those courting days, the man would come to family functions and it may, let's say it's a picnic or whatever, and the girl and the guy may have some time to talk one-on-one, but always with family around. I don't even want to get there with our dear sweet 19-year-old until the men have sniffed him out. All right. Hello, Simon. To assist with vetting. Whew. Okay. Yeah, we just never know what we're dealing with. And absolutely, that's why we need the men in our life. All right, let me go back to where I was, everyone. Thank you all for the feedback. I'm just going to go up. I may have missed y'all, but I'm coming down the line. I want to make sure I shout everyone. Okay, so we stopped at Costco. Okay, the 1800s. Yeah, so we talked about the roles. And again, multiple kind of marriages. Sorry, y'all, just woke up. Multiple kind of marriages. I am 47. And so for me, hopefully I'll be able to remarry in my golden years. We have agreed that with children, the kids are all in high school, but with minor children, I don't necessarily believe in that big, beautiful blended family. I co-parent well with my ex-husband, thankfully. And, there's children on the other side too that have active parents. So, there's different type of marriages, but yeah, you got to know which one that you want. Celine says for a age gap is half your age and add 7 years. Someone do the struggle math for me. But yeah, here's what I'll say about the age gap. And I had to come around to this as well. When we grow up the way that we grow up in like co-ed schools and all that, I get it. We women think that men should be where we are, but being a boy mom has really opened my eyes because you see the development and it is starkly different. Women mature quickly. And if you do marry someone that's your age, or closer to your age, you're going to have one of those, Kevin Samuels used to call it like an IKEA marriage, where you're starting out together with nothing. And I think those can be sweet and beautiful. I come from a small town and a lot of people marry their college sweetheart and together, or high school sweetheart and together 50 years. It's beautiful. Both of my parents got married in their 20s. They're in their 70s now and been together 50 years. But if you as a woman are not willing to wait and have a little bit of delayed gratification and build with a man, if you want to come in and be with a man who has it together from the beginning, hello, peace, you probably will need to date someone older because he's taking the time away from you to build himself. Just my thoughts, y'all. I am no professional. I am not a doctor. I'm not a relationship coach. I'm just an older woman who's been through some things, and I'm here to talk to y'all. Hello, Mona. Thank you so much for being here. All right, let me come down the path. Again, if you have questions, I'll drop the link again. If you have questions, you do not have to be camera on Instagram. You can put it in there's a Q question button, or on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter, you can put a Q in front of it. All right, everyone. Okay, so Casual says, comment on the age gap. If it benefits both parties, if the man is older and the woman is younger. I mean, it could benefit, especially if the man wants family, right? If he wants 4 children, you are much more likely to get that with a woman in her 20s than with a woman already in her 30s or 40s. It's just math, y'all. Okay, Celine says, oh, you're in a relationship with someone you grew up with. Yeah, I mean, my man is someone from childhood, and it's someone that I was ready, but he was not, and he had to go live his life. And now version 2.0 of him. But men have to have that time, ladies. We can't force it. Oh, Rebecca wanted to know about the courses that I'm enrolled in. Yeah, so I'm always taking them. But yeah, I meet my etiquette teacher once a month, and I usually post on my page, you all, if you all have any questions for my etiquette teacher that I can't answer, I'll take them to her and ask for you. But take a look at my Patreon, patreon.com. The link is in the description. I'm always posting there what I'm learning. And there's a $1 level. Okay, we have, is it Hortensia? Says, hey, Miss Maggie, hello, my first time seeing you. I am a married mom in a blended family. Please advise on getting into a CNA job or taking up a postgraduate certification in education to get into teaching with my circumstances. Wow, this is a lot. Okay, so you're married. Blended family means you have kids, he has kids, and then I don't know if you all have kids together. There's so much here, and it depends on so much. So for those who don't know, a CNA job, as far as I understand, is a certified nursing assistant. So you're looking to going into some type of schooling, either to become a nurse assistant or into teaching. So it depends on so many things. I would ask, what have you and your husband talked about? You have a husband. So what has he, what role does he want you to play in the marriage? It also depends on the age of the children. You all know my boys are in high school now, so I have more time to do this kind of stuff with y'all. When they were little, there was like a 5-year period. I didn't know what was on TV. I was like either expecting, nursing, had a newborn, one running around. Y'all, there are different phases of life. What would be the reason of going into this schooling? Is it, you have more free time and this is something that you've always wanted to do and now you have time to do it? Is there a financial burden that you need to make money for the family? How long is the schooling? How much does it cost? There's so many questions there, but I guess generally I would say, if I wanted to go down another venture, even starting this YouTube channel, I talked to my man. He was actually the one who encouraged me because I'm very traditional and, I cook and I love to serve him and all of that. And he was like, you need to get this out there. People don't know about this stuff. And I was naive. I was like, it's just simple. Everybody does this. And he was like, and I didn't know, y'all. This is just the way that I was raised. My mom, Maggie, if you do not cook for your children, who will cook for them? And I'm like, 12? I don't know. I'm playing with Barbies right now. But I would definitely have a conversation with your husband and then see what type of problem are you trying to solve. For me, since you're asking me, the family already comes first. So if you can do it and still be a good wife and a good mother, and it doesn't cost too much or take too much time, okay. I would probably do it in a way where the hours don't affect family time. That's me, because I don't know, if it were a financial issue, I'd probably try to see where I could save money as opposed to make more money, because then there's schooling on top of that. It's a lot. Hopefully that helps. But if you have more information, I'll do my best to try to answer. But thank you for the question. All right. I'm just scrolling. Noel, we love Maggie in Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you, Noel. I appreciate that. Or is it Noel? Let me know how to pronounce it. I want to make sure I get it right, Mr. George. I love the Caribbean. I've never been to Trinidad and Tobago. I've been to several islands, though, but beautiful. Oh, enjoy the weather for me. It's kind of cold, y'all. I'm up in the mountains. It's kind of hard to see, but I am taking pictures and videos for y'all. I brought some sundresses, but it's cold. I got on long sleeves and jeans and sneakers, but we're going to a winery today. North Georgia has good wine. Hello, Leanne. Okay, so Rebecca says, question, what advice would you give to those, so you're 26 years old, studying at university level and working part or full-time in a 4-year relationship, for example, being able to demonstrate wifey qualities, and you have 2 years left at university. This is great. Now, here's the thing, Rebecca. So 26, in university with 2 years left. So you are definitely, in that sweet spot, right? You have your youth and your prime years. So you've been in a 4-year relationship. I would always ask, and again, this is not to ask, like, where are we going with this? But what has he said? The man that you're with, is he doing the things, or has he just flat out said, I'm looking for a wife, or I want to, marry you one day? And men do communicate. Sometimes as women, we just blow right past it. But if he's just having fun and it's not really going anywhere, and he's not including you in his future plans, I have a viral clip that went around that said, even if we feel all the things, I'll see if I can find it here. Even if we feel all the things, oh, I love him so much. If the man has not established that this is a real relationship for him, you're not in a relationship. So you've got a decision to make. Now, of course, I believe being in a relationship is much better than casual experiences, because at least you're able to practice those wife skills. So again, how do you communicate with him? How are you in service to him? Men, like Kevin Samuels used to say this, men do like, of course, our youth and our beauty, but also how useful are we to them? Do we pick up the slack in the things that, he's not so good at? Let's say, I'm making this up, he's not really great in, I don't know, networking, right? And you have a connection that you may introduce him to that could help, with his, I don't know if he's, did you say if he's the same age or he's also older? So you are working and you are in university, but it also depends on the age of the man. So if you both are college students, then you're both in that same phase of life. Now, if he wants to get married at that same age, it's kind of young for a man. A lot of times they need to have their own life experience before, they settle down with what they choose. So you really need to know what he wants to do. But as long as you're in a relationship, definitely treat him in a way that helps you stay aware and alert of how men are. So it's not a shock to you when you meet the one. And you can ask and then let his answer and let his actions show you. But I would only ask one time. Again, we can't change them. And I'm hoping you're in it for 4 years after already having this conversation. But yeah, that's hopefully that's helpful. And see what he says and what he does. If he's just having fun, then you can say, okay, well, I would like to be married. So I'm going to be looking for a relationship that's leading towards that. And you just leave it there. There's really nothing that you can do to wrestle him down. All right. Hopefully that helps, y'all. Okay. Sabrina's saying hi. Hello, everyone coming in. Leanne says, how can a 19 and 35-year-old be on the same wavelength? They're not. They're not. And that's why at 35, the burden is on the man. Whenever a man has a younger woman, you are taking on that responsibility to be not only protector, provider, shepherd, all of that stuff. She's very, very young. And so, and we hadn't even gotten there yet, but I would have said, like, after the family clears him, then you take some time to socialize with him in your family, because he can wait. She gotta, make sure she's ready, maybe like 2021. All right. Hello, Shantia. Hello, Georgia girl. Thank you for being here. I am in Hiawassee, Young Harris. Y'all, I'm in the North Georgia mountains. Like, the grocery store is in North Carolina. So I'm that close to the Carolina border. So we're up in the mountains, and y'all know I'm usually in Atlanta. So it's about 2.5 hours from where I'm usually at. All right. Okay. So just scrolling down. Yeah, we talked about all of this. Condemned is here, y'all. The men are always watching. He says, yeah, men are going to pull up his LinkedIn, run that background check. That's what I'm talking about. We women are just like, oh, I love him. And love is great. Believe me, I love love. But we need our men. They're always like surveying the land. Okay. Yes, let the family get to know him. Okay. Scrolling down. Gina says, yes, take a step back and get other perspectives. Was that for the age gap? Christina's nervous. I understand. All right, let's see. Oh, Dope wants to know if I give one-on-one consultations. I absolutely do. I'm going to pull up the link for you all so you can see. But yes, if you go over to my YouTube page or you just go to MaggieTheSubstituteTeacher.com, because I do have a website, it'll take you to my YouTube page, but more is coming. I'm going to pull up the link for you and it should be in the description here, but let me grab it for you and put it in the chat. You can book a Maggie meeting and I have several consults. Some of y'all are watching, you know who you are. But yes, you can talk to me one-on-one. It's called a Maggie meeting. There's a 30-minute option and there's a 1 hour option. And I'm definitely here to help in any way I can. Again, not a doctor, not a professional, just an older woman that's been through some things, but I do have a heart to help. All right, so I have dropped the link in the chat for you. Hello, Shelby, sweet Shelby. What does Shelby say? Good morning, lovely Maggie. Sorry I'm late for class. It's okay. Y'all can come late. You can leave early. You can multitask. You can take class on the road. I'm on the road. Ooh, you just finished cooking breakfast. I am going to be making breakfast after this. I think the request for today was smoked salmon on like a cream cheese bagel. So a little bit of a fancy continental breakfast. I got some red onion and some tomato slices. I didn't get capers, but I'm going to put that spread together. You all know I love to cook and love to eat, clearly, working on that. But I placed a grocery order. Y'all know I'm always shouting out Instacart, and none of this is sponsored, but there is a discount code for you all in the class notes. I got the address of the place that we were staying and I placed a grocery order. So when we arrived, the groceries were delivered here and it's all included in your subscription. So you don't have to make a stop. It works for me. All right, let's see what else. Okay, I'm not seeing any other questions. So I'll stay on just a few more minutes and we can wrap this up. Let's see, what else do we have going on? I'm going to drink out of my little glass, plastic. I'm drinking. Shout out to the Walmart water. This isn't Walmart. I think it was the groceries came from Aldi. So this is some just sparkling water. And y'all know we don't drink it like this, speaking of the etiquette classes. So I just found a little glass up here. I'm in the upstairs bedroom and I'm just pouring it and taking small silent sips, trying to be more elegant. That's one of the things that I learned. Little things like that, ladies. I just posted on my Patreon. Did you know there are elegant hand gestures? And this isn't one of them? No. But there are definitely ways because body language is so important and it's a part of our communication, ladies. One of the things that I realized is that I would just like open doors hard and jump in the car. And I didn't think I was slamming cabinets, but just moving like a dude. And that is not elegant at all. And so I just posted a video on my Patreon. Jamila Musayeva posted about elegant hand gestures and different things you can do. So I'll share a little bit of that with you all. Holding from our stem. We have Rise back. Okay. So I will bring you up. And hello, Pura Luz. Thank you so much for being here. And hello, Vani. All right, so we'll go about 5 more minutes, but if you're seated, and I'm sitting in a chair, I'm trying to sit on the edge, ladies, because a little posture, when you sit back, not only am I small like this, but it kind of like hunches you down and it makes you kind of look wider, which is not what I want. So I'm sitting towards the edge of the chair. And if you could see my hands, just clasp them together. I keep my hands together because for me, you can see it adds a little bit more frame to my body, which is what I need. Also elegant gestures, just grasping your hands gently or letting them dangle gently. So much stuff, like when you put your hands in your pockets, from afar it can kind of look like you got something to hide. I mean, there's just so much psychology behind it. But anyway, this is y'all's Q&A. Rise, I'm going to bring you back up. All right, did you have another question? Go ahead. I don't hear anything. Okay. Well, Rise dropped back down. So we'll stay on just for a few more minutes. Let me see if I missed anything on IG. So what have we got going on? Oh, there she is. Okay. Let me try again. All right. You are in audio only. Go ahead. Did you have another question? I'm not hearing anything. Oh, do I have you muted? Hold up. There you are. Let's try now. Oh,
Can you hear me?
now okay, you keep unmuting. Okay, I won't touch it. Don't touch it. We can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you have a
Okay.
question?
It's echoing, so I'm gonna just speak and it'll get to you when it gets to you. Um, I figured out the way that you speak. It's like you speak math, but without the numbers. When did all of that make sense in your head? Like, when did you know what you're saying makes sense? Like, how did it make sense to you to see things the way that you do?
I'm not sure I'm following. So you're asking, how does it make sense in my mind before I speak? Or maybe you can give me an example of what I said that sounded mathematical. Okay, it shows you muted. I don't know if you're speaking. There you are. Can you give me an example?
Okay. Um, okay, like the way I see the world, I'm not really good at math. The way I see the world is like, high school type of math. But the way you see the world, it's more like algebra. Like you add all types of X's and Y's and this and that. You make it make sense, but in a way that it's not normal, but it's so cool.
Well, thank you for the compliment, sweetheart. May I ask how old you are?
I'm 33.
33. Okay, well, I'm 47. And honestly, you all, a lot of this is just life experience, but I appreciate the compliment and I receive the compliment. And I know that oftentimes the way things are delivered land differently. Okay, I'm just going to mute you so there's no background noise. I understand because I've experienced it too. I mean, I have a very traditional father and he just says what it is. And sometimes it's like, ouch, that hurt, or my man, he'll just be like, why do you do that? Don't do that anymore. I don't like it. And I'm like, oh, yes, sir. Okay. Um, I think it's a combination of things. I am an analytical person. I have a chemistry degree. I don't really talk much about my education, but I do work in technology. So STEM is a big part of my life. I think in kind of a linear um, pattern kind of way. Maybe that's just the way my brain works. But as a woman, I do have a sensitivity about me because I care. Like I'm really a softie, and I think that comes out. This is really just who I am. And so I think things and then I really try to process them and filter them before I speak. This is something that I've picked up in my etiquette and elegance classes. Communication is so important. And I've had to learn to slow down and lower my voice because an elegant woman is never rushed. An elegant woman is never hurried. And I used to be that way all the time. So I really slowed down and I used to think as I was speaking. Now I think before I speak. So that's a little tip that can be helpful if you tend to, think something, but it comes out and it's not what you intended. Oftentimes, when you see me pause or when you see me kind of look down, like I'm processing and I'm saying it in my head over and over before it comes out of my mouth so that it's clear. And that clip that went viral, it's like 2 million views, more than that. Um, I was on that podcast and I was listening to people argue about relationships and this, that, and the third and whatnot. And I was just like, why is it so difficult? It didn't have to be so difficult. But instead of just interjecting it, let me say this, let me say that, I really sat and I thought about it and I processed and I'm like, I'm a boy mom and I have seen these boys go through changes that I used to think something was wrong with them. I used to think, do I need to get them tested? What is going on here? Why are you running amok? And I would talk to their dad, and I would talk to my man. I would talk to men at work, and I'd be like, "Is everything okay?" And they would say, "Ah, mom." I was like that too. I set the backyard on fire, but I'm fine now. And so I was just trying to process everything, and I'm like, okay, men really can compartmentalize the phases of life. I was a boy, I'm a young man, I'm a grown man, I'm an old man, and they can move past that. Whereas women, myself included, we love to think that we're forever young and we're always going to have that. And so, what I said, older men see themselves in younger men, women see themselves as younger women. People were like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. I was like, it's just my experience, but I received the compliment and I appreciate it so, so much. See, retention says facts. Linda says, hello, Maggie. Para Luz is dancing with the flowers. Ah, Shelby has a call. Seed says, Maggie, you're amazing. Thank you so much for the compliment. Shelby says, do you have any advice on trying online dating or going to events and naturally meeting outside? I feel nervous about dating again, but I want to be a married woman. I'm 27. I know time is ticking. Yes, yes. Hold the door, hold door, hold the door. So I am an older woman. And so for me, when I got married in 1842, we didn't have these internets, but we didn't have online dating. I would say you probably have to do both, Shelby. The other thing that I would recommend, your network. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, if I ever found myself single again, I would probably go to probably the, men that I know and trust, or even women too, and just say, I'm in my older years. I still have a lot of love to give. And, for whatever reason, I'm single again, but I would love to be, a support system to, a man that is interested in marriage or long term. So if you know anybody, please connect us. I don't see anything wrong with that. I would be telling people. So that allows you to let other people kind of do the work for you. But yes, go and be seen, be outside, present yourself well, be in the types of places that would meet the caliber of man that you want. I mean, I'm not a club girl, but maybe you can meet a husband in the club. Doubt it. But I would go to events and activities. Speaking of etiquette, Anna Bay, I think it's in my Patreon. There's a whole list of she has of places where you can meet affluent men, if that's important to you. But just choose wisely with that. But if you are dating today, I understand. The dating apps are, I would say, a necessary evil, but just take it with a grain of salt, because people can say whatever they want to with internet courage. Mom is messaging me. But yeah, I would be trying to meet in a public place, pretty quickly. So that you know that it's real and somebody's not wasting your time. But yeah, 27, move like your hair is on fire. Oh, oh my gosh, Pretty says 30 with a 60-year-old. Is that okay? I guess, but look, I am not like I understand and I appreciate that you all want my opinion, and I'm happy to give it to you. So to answer, sure, if that's what they want. But again, really with age gap or any relationship, it comes down to, what do you want? What does he want? And does what both of you all want 80% go together? I'm guessing this is a 60-year-old man with a 30-year-old woman. A 60-year-old man is in that, last phase of his life. And so he doesn't want to die alone. And he's looking for someone, I can't even say to grow old with, but to spend his golden silver years with, right? If a 60-year-old man is getting married for the first time and wanting kids, he's definitely going to have a woman that can bear him children. But my goodness, at that age, how active are you going to be able to be? So either it's the older man being, more of a dad when he's probably more of a granddad age, or if it's an older man and a woman who's 30 who doesn't want children and she just wants a lifetime companion and she's okay to, move on his timeline, absolutely. But what you can't do is say, I'm 30 and you took the best years of my life. No, that's what you signed up for. So you just both got to know what you want. But yeah, I mean, I'm here for relationships and, I don't judge, as long as, both of y'all are happy, I say go on down the path. Shantia says family structure and being married provide balance and peace. Absolutely. She says it became normal for me when I came from a single family home to becoming married. Maybe I missed it, y'all. Good morning, Bonnie. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. We'll close on this. I'm going to see if I can pull up the clips for you guys because I did have a couple clips that went viral. I'll see if I can pull them up so you can see, but thank you. Pretty Evie is our stream sponsor at $4.99. I'm going to put you in the ticker. Thank you so much, my dear. You all, this is a labor of love for me. I do these Ask Me Anythings usually about once a week, so you all can talk to me for free because I do have a heart to help. But usually when I'm cooking, I'm running around the kitchen, and so I can't give you my undivided attention. But yes, thank you for the support. The stream sponsor, y'all, this keyboard, Pretty Evie, $4.99. I don't take it for granted. I didn't find $5 in your laundry today. So yes, I will receive it gladly. And the stream sponsor is the person who gives the biggest Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Facebook, stars, Instagram gifts, Twitter tips, gold doubloons. Y'all, I don't know. It's a lot. But I appreciate you sincerely because you don't even have to be watching, let alone give. And you love the answer. Thank you, sweetheart. All right. So let me see if I can pull up. I have a couple clips that you all can see that I mentioned here. And then we will close out. So I'm going to share my screen and just show you all. If you go to my page, all right, and you go to, so Maggie, the substitute teacher, so we're here talking about Ask Me Anything right now. But if you go to Shorts, excuse me, and y'all know I post every day, but let me see, if you sort over here by popular, this one right here, Traditional Woman, I'm going to play. So there's two clips. I was on this podcast. Several of them have gotten viral. This one has got over 2.7 million views, but I'm going to just play it for you all so you can see my communication style. Again, this was a podcast with like 8, 9 people. I knew Melanie King and MTR, but I didn't know who these people were, and everybody was going back and forth. And so this is what I said that went viral, and then I'll play one more, and then we will close it out. Argue that if an older woman had told this younger lady or any younger lady that this is how boys see you, if you do that, you would act differently if someone had told you that. I think men do a much better job of checking each other because men see themselves in younger men. Women see themselves as younger women. So a man...
Bars.
Gospel.
She's good. You better teach.
Hey.
Okay, so you all saw the clip. This has been going around and around. So a lot of you all may have seen me from that clip, but all I was doing there was, and if you go to that clip, the entire podcast is in the description. And I was really just trying to sum up everything that I was hearing. So ladies, if you have trouble communicating, slow down, think before you speak. And that's where a lot of the profoundness comes from, because I just stopped running a mile a minute. And then the last one I'm going to show you all, as far as relationships, we've had a lot of relationship conversations today. And I love love, and I want y'all to win. And, every relationship is different. Mine may not work out for you. Yours may not work out for me. But I am a believer that men have to establish there's a relationship. Sometimes people are in the comments and they're like, what? Only men decide? No, men offer. And we as women, we have right of refusal, which means we can accept to get on their program, or we can say, I'm sorry, it's a no. What we can't do is change them, and what we can't do is rush them, okay? So I'll show you all one last clip, and then we will dismiss. I'm going to go make breakfast because I know we got hungry. Y'all know how it is. All right, how do I, Oops. How do I share my screen again? Y'all, is it here? Okay. Let me show y'all the other clip. Hey. So we're gonna go back. Okay, social media. Okay, this is the other clip um, about older women teaching the young. So for my ladies that are in relationships, here's some Auntie Maggie wisdom. Would like to offer something to the young mother, if I may. So, just a couple of things that you said, and I'm really proud of you for being brave and being honest. But just moving forward, the first thing that you said that struck me, you said how you felt about the man. I felt this way about him. I was attracted to him. All the wonderful qualities. Just be mindful that men establish relationships. So, up and until he says, I belong to you and you belong to me, or I would like to take this to the next level, I don't want to see other people, anything other than that, it's not a relationship. Even if we feel all of the things, unless the man has established it, you are not in a relationship. And I think as women, it would be wise of us to not assume just because we feel some way, it's so. I would like All right, ladies. So hopefully that was helpful. That was me, and you all can see all that stuff if you go to my page, go to the shorts tab and sort by popular. So I continue to clip what I do in these Q&As for you all, so you all have some easily digestible content. So for any of my younger ladies or older ladies that are in relationship, hopefully this is helpful. I'm going to let you all have your evening, and your day, and your weekend. For those of us in the States, it's Memorial Day weekend. So thank you again to our military personnel who have given the ultimate sacrifice. I don't take it for granted. It's not just a long weekend. So thank you all. So I'm heading out. I'm going to be making breakfast and I'll go to the winery. I'll be taking pictures and videos for you all. I will stream tomorrow. We'll probably do a dining documentary about the winery from today. Thank you for everyone who called in. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you for everyone who asked a question. Thank you, Pretty Evie, for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Thank you all for helping me monetize my passion for food and life and so many things. I do have a course. Link is in the description. You can preview it for free. That's a YouTube course. Etiquette course is coming out. We do have a cruise coming up. If you all are interested and you want to meet me, we are having a Maggie meetup in November. $200 to reserve your spot. And then you pay the balance by September because we cruise in November. So there's a website. You can go see all about it. I'm booked. I'm going to be in a different restaurant every night. You all can spend as much time with me or as little time with me as you want to. I'll be celebrating my birthday on the cruise. I'll be bringing gifts for you all. We'll do a Q&A. All of that is happening if you want to get out of the cold and meet me on the high seas. All right. So Linda says this was awesome and enjoy the weekend. All right. So I will see you all tomorrow for probably a winery dining documentary. That is it. Course, cookbook. Well, this is not a cooking class. Community. If you want to book a one-on-one or join my Patreon or join the Maggie memberships, you get the cookbook and the course free at the $5 level. Shirley. I'm going to go ahead and put you in the ticker. We have a new stream sponsor at $5, and I'm going to go ahead and dismiss, but I appreciate it. Y'all, I don't take it for granted. You don't even have to be here. My first time seeing you, and you come through with gifts. Thank you, Charlene. I'm thinking Jolene. Shirley. Please don't take my man because you can. Shirley. Okay, see, I'm starting to get silly. This is why I'm in etiquette classes. All right, y'all. Let me go before I get silly. I love you all. I will see you tomorrow for a dining documentary. Enjoy your Saturday, and we'll catch up tomorrow. Class is dismissed on Instagram. Thank you all so much. All right, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Class is dismissed.